Absolutely. At Anchanto, we do propose a lot of professional services, support and consultancy services. We have processed more than 150 million parcels for them just with this solution. And so it's not because you have invested in a heavy technology and that the project technically works that necessarily it is a success. Success comes with the adoption of the solution by your users.
Thierry, you started your career as a software engineer. You worked for Thales, and then you joined MasterCard, and then Heiko at the end of the 1990s. So it started a while ago. And then you stepped into fintech. You joined Welcome Real Time. This is where you spent most of your career,
Yes,
like
correct.
22 years or something. So you led the technical teams, then the professional services teams, then you moved to the business side. You led the sales and business operations team, and you ended up as general manager of the financial services and retail loyalty arm of the Collinson Group.
That's correct.
Then we're in 2022. You decide to join Anchanto. So you're now the chief revenue officer for the EMEA region. This means you oversee the expansion and all the revenue operations for France, for the UK, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia, and hopefully more countries in the future.
Thanks.
So Thierry, I really wanted to have this conversation with you because you've been an expert of digital transformation. So we're going to talk a bit about this, and we're going to talk also obviously about the trends of e-commerce and what you're seeing currently. So my first question, so I'm the CIO, I'm the leader of a brand or a retailer. We're going through this digital transformation. What do I need to do to make sure that I get this project right?
Okay, big question to start with. So digital transformations are usually quite deep projects and requires a strong alignment between different teams. The best one of the suggestions I'm usually making to my customers is to try to get a sort of a cross-functional squad team to make sure that different departments are fully aligned on the objectives, the means, the deadlines as well. So having all of them fully agreeing on this is to me one of the key success factor for this type of complex projects. And by teams, this could include the commercials, the strategic, the management, as well as the IT and the operations.
Okay, so having so many teams working together, to me, it can also sound like chaos. So what can be the blockers actually that typically maybe having too many people involved, too many leaders?
Unclear objectives, unclear investment as well. This type of project may take some time. Some of them may take a few years sometimes. So you need a budget, you need a clear plan, a clear team, a clear RACI, role and responsibilities across different stakeholders. And you also need some C-level sponsorship to make sure this project is being conducted and executed properly. As many projects, you will discover new, unexpected topics, risks, problems, and you need sometimes to make big decisions. So you need C-level to be involved at some point to make sure that these decisions are made quickly, so that you can you don't spend and waste time in the overall execution of your project.
You just spoke about the purpose of the project, having a goal and alignment. This is something you spoke about recently on LinkedIn. You have kids. You kind of compared the digital native generation that knows how to use tools and technology very easily, but actually when it comes to maybe complex tools like in the workspace, you see these generations struggling a little bit. You drew the parallel with businesses that know they have to invest. They put a lot of money on the table to invest in technology, but maybe it kind of often lacks of purpose, and the projects just end up failing. So
purpose and adoption is very important. Investing in technology, but ignoring how your users will adopt properly the solution and they will use effectively the solution is also very important. A lot of big transformations are missing this post-implementation support, where they need people to enable their users and to make sure that the technology is properly adopted by the users. And also used in such a way it brings efficiency, productivity. And so it's not because you have invested in a heavy technology and that the project technically works that necessarily it is a success. Success comes with the adoption of the solution by your users.
Okay. So you talk about this making sure that all the steps are done right, that afterwards, after implementation, you use the technology right. There's often this question about getting external support and consulting. You've been a consultant a little bit yourself. How do you see working with consultants and even maybe the role today of software vendors that maybe have to play this role a little bit, being more a consultant than just a vendor and
absolutely. At Anchanto, we do propose a lot of professional services, support and consultancy services to our customers, but in our domain. So when it comes to projects when you have to integrate various third-party solutions like ERPs, for instance, you need some external support because those companies and consulting firms are more expert in their domain, in their technologies. Also, some of our customers, they don't have any skill sets for coordinating, managing a project, so they may need support from external companies just for the PMO, for the project management, the follow-up, managing the risks, reporting and everything. So sometimes external support is required. Also, we have seen a few customers, like in Saudi, I remember a customer who involved external consulting firms for doing a sort of digital audit. And this helped us saving times. And instead of spending 6 months of internal discussions, those guys from these consultant firms help them to really define their strategy, their purpose, as well, why this transformation and this project was important for them. So it was really helpful in executing this promptly, this project faster than usually.
When we talk about digital transformation, there's also a lot of companies, they have actually already done a part of it some time ago, then they got used to the way things work with their technology. We see this in our space with companies doing B2B logistics that want to transition to also doing B2B and B2C logistics. How do you accompany? I think you were telling me about a company in the Middle East where you actually met the teams on the ground and they were struggling to adopt a new technology. They were already using something, but when it comes to using now for a new purpose,
so this is all about change management. You need to consider this transformation as a proper change in your organization. It may change a lot of things. The solution itself is different. The way to use it is different. The workflows might be different. So it's all about enablement and adoption. So this transformation and this change management is very important to be considered at the beginning of the project. So all along the implementation, I mean, the technical part of it is something, but then after the training, the time you will be spending supporting your users, making sure that they are using properly and efficiently the solution is also as important. And we have seen too many customers having a very large, expensive project, heavy implementations, technically successful, but unsuccessful in the level of adoption of it by their employees, by their users. And some of them had to roll back to their previous systems because they were not adopting properly their new technologies.
So this is a lack of connect between the decision makers, the one that buy and the one that actually use the technology.
The buyers, the people implementing and the users are totally different. So you need to make sure that all of them are properly considered in your project.
So when working with these companies, I know the sales life cycle can be fairly long because these are structural projects for the companies. So what's your personal approach from a sales perspective? You're also the CRO, so you have team members that might lead the operations on the day-to-day of talking to customers. How do you manage this relationship and these long discussions? As you say, you need to make sure that everybody is aligned, so you need to accompany even the champion of that you have as a prospect and make sure that he's aligned with or she's aligned with their all the stakeholders.
So it really depends. For big, large enterprise sales, this is different from regular, standard sales. Especially during the discovery phase. With large enterprise, you need to understand your customer. And understanding your customers means you need to know basically everything about them. Their organization, their politics, their objectives, their pains, their challenges, their budget, the way they are organized. And you need also to find an internal sponsor, someone who can help you developing your proposal inside the company and to make sure that you can also get access to some insights about how your solutions, your services are perceived, and therefore you can then after adjust your positioning and the way you develop your sales with this company. So this is for the discovery phase. During the solutioning phase, our approach at Anchanto, especially for large customers, is that we don't pitch products. We don't sell features or functionalities. We first try to understand the problem, because if you want to bring a solution, you need to identify a problem. A solution without a problem does not work. So this is the first important stage, to understand their challenge, their pain, their problems. And then we try usually to co-design and to co-create solutions with them. First, because the solution will be necessarily better than if it is only us doing it, because they know better their issues and what they need. But also it will increase the stickiness of the customer in the sales process, because they will have this feeling that they have also co-designed this solution with you. This will help you making sure that you can move to the next steps.
Okay, very clear. So this is a good segue to the way we are structured as a team at Anchanto. You talk about knowing in and out the company. We've made the choice of having teams locally present in all the countries where we sell.
Yeah.
How do you leverage this, and what role does it play in the process, and in actually reassuring maybe the prospects and the companies we work with?
So at Anchanto, and this is true in many companies like us, the combo of the sales and pre-sales is very important. And by pre-sales, usually we have SMEs or solution experts, consultants, who bring this domain expertise, this domain knowledge, because selling is per se already, let's say, complex. I mean, convincing someone about your solution, but you need also to build a sort of credibility, and you need to show that you have also the right level of understanding of the customer's problems, challenge, pains. So that's why having someone who is good at pushing for selling products, but also someone who can bring this domain expertise, is to me a success factor. So this combination is been deployed in most of the countries where we are deployed, in Europe, but also in the Middle East, where we have sales and pre-sales support both present locally.
You were with before, so with the Collinson Group, as I said, $1 billion revenue, something like this. Anchanto is not there yet. Yet you still address the same kind of companies in the sense of the size of the business. So what makes Anchanto suited for these type of deals, these type of projects, large enterprise projects?
Anchanto, we have 14 years experience in serving large customers. We have also a global presence, which is a reassuring factor for this profile of customers, big, large enterprise. The fact that we also we do understand local market specificities is also something that is really valuable. And if you look at some of our competitors, they don't always have this sort of large exposure and global presence. So this is a first factor. Also, at Anchanto, we have a quite also complete suite of solutions that can cover many needs from enterprise customers. Could it be in the logistic or supply chain domain? We have multiple type of solutions that can answer those customers' issues or needs.
Talking about the global aspect, so you oversee, as I said, the UK, France, Saudi Arabia, the UAE. Yeah. How do you manage the differences in between the market? How do you see these markets being different when it comes to e-commerce, logistics, or even digital transformation? How far along are these countries comparatively?
Those markets are very different. Same needs in the end. Yeah. A seller wants to sell, a logistic company wants to deliver and to fulfill orders. But in terms of approach, in terms of go-to-market and perceived values, you may have different dynamics and different specificities. The European market and France and UK market in particular are very mature markets. There are a lot of local players very well established for years. So for us to be successful on this market, we need to bring a strong tech. And also we need also in this very mature market some local partners. Expecting being successful in a very mature developed market without side partners, it's complicated. So that's why at least in France and the UK, we are expanding in terms of partnerships, and we try to find different type of partnerships, consulting firms, technical integrators. These kind of things is very important for us. In the Middle East market, this is different. First, the relationship is very important. The personal relationship you have with your customers. So you'll not buy your solutions if they don't trust you, not as a company, but as a person. So you need to be referred somehow by some trusted players that they know, customers, partners, family sometimes. So this personal relationship is very important. So in those markets, it's even more important to be locally present and to be really going with your customers for a coffee, a tea, a lunch, a dinner, and to create this personal relationship with them before even talking about your solution and your business.
When it comes to these relationships, what's the impact for Saudi business knowing that, Anchanto, you're present in 12 countries, or Thierry is coming, visiting me, racking up miles from France, traveling all the way to see me? What's the impact of working with an international company like us?
You mean for the customer?
Yeah, for the customer. How do they perceive this?
They really like, especially in the Middle East, they really like, because this market is not as mature as in Europe. So they are very, there is big demand for the latest technology, the latest trend, innovation and so on. So if you're able to show that you have been successful in other markets with some stuff that they don't have yet, but that may needs and may implement soon, they are very excited about that. So all the experience you can bring them from other markets is perceived as a real value. And also they like seeing people. They like to meet physically with people. I've not done, I think, any video conference with Saudi customers. It's either my local teams doing this face-to-face or myself visiting them and traveling to the Saudi market.
Can you tell me a bit about how the team is structured, the kind of profiles that you have as part of the team?
Yeah, we cover basically all the different activities. So the sales, marketing activities are based in the Middle East, in Dubai and in Saudi. We have also the pre-sales consultants. We have also a small local team. We have the CAM, taking care of our existing customers. So we have a quite complete team.
And implementation.
And implementation as well for onboarding customers. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask you about your choice of joining Anchanto. You were employee number 2 in EMEA.
Yeah.
You were the general manager of a large firm. What made you believe in this project, where Anchanto is from Southeast Asia originally, expanded quite fast in the region, and then set eyes on Europe and Middle East. So what made you join the company 2 years ago?
I think it was an opportunity that the Anchanto founders and co-founders made me, and it was I accepted their offer basically after 25 years in the fintech. So I needed some changes. And I took this opportunity for creating something from scratch, because Anchanto was not present in Europe, but with the backing of
a large company, larger organization.
Of a larger organization. So having also the La Poste Group, Ascendia, also locally present in France, was also a factor of reassurance to me that we could do something with this strong support from them. So yes, it was a big change for me, but I have no regret. It has been a bit challenging at the beginning, because moving from fintech to e-commerce logistic is very different and sometimes requires a lot of learnings.
And questioning yourself. You just spoke about Ascendia and La Poste. Anchanto has Ascendia, which is the joint venture of the French Post and Swiss Post, is one of the biggest customers of Anchanto in Southeast Asia and now globally, and became an investor in 2020. So they did play a big part in supporting Anchanto expanding into Europe. Can you just tell us a bit about this relationship today and how we work with the La Poste Group and Ascendia?
So La Poste and Ascendia are important strategic partners for Anchanto, and beyond this, our shareholder relationship, they are also users of our solutions, and we have been able to co-create, co-design with them some of our solutions that they are currently using. So Ascendia, for instance, is using multiple solutions from Anchanto in Europe and in APAC, such as our WMS solution, so for managing their fulfillment centers in the UK and in Singapore. They have been also using Control Tower solution and also parcel tracking for several years now. Last year, we have processed more than 150 million parcels for them just with this solution. So we have really a deep relationship with Ascendia. And with La Poste in France, they are also our commercial partner, and they help us commercializing our offering to their customers on the French market.
Moving on to e-commerce, what kind of shopper are you? Online or offline?
Yeah. I used to be a quite impulsive online shopper. I used to buy a lot online. For the last few years, I'm trying to refrain myself and to reduce my online shopping. So I've been trying a technique which consists now of asking 3 questions before buying something online. First question is, do I need this? The second is, do I really need this? And the third one is, do I need it now? And if there is a no to one of these questions, then I postpone or I just cancel the purchase. But yes, I used to buy quite a lot of things online, and I really like this feeling of receiving something in the box. You open the box, and sometimes you don't even remember what you have ordered, and then you just have it's like Christmas. You have something a surprise. So this feeling is quite exciting. But yes, again, I'm trying to refrain myself on this.
I heard your daughter is quite fond of Vinted.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about Vinted, this platform, and her as a user, how she uses it, and how that inspires you maybe or influences how you perceive e-commerce and even the future of e-commerce?
So Vinted is a C2C platform, customer-to-customer marketplace, actually, where people can buy, sell, or swap, exchange items online. It's getting very popular in France and now in Europe. It's very well developed, and this is what you call a circular economy or re-commerce, so a second-hand product selling and exchange. And yes, I've been surprised to see my daughter. She started at 12 to use my wife's Vinted account to sell her stuff, books, clothes, shoes. And she made a lot of business on Vinted, and I've discovered her skill set in selling stuff and also to bargain with the buyers.
Managing operations.
Managing operations, packing stuff and so on. So I've been really surprised, and she really loves it. I mean, help her also to develop these negotiation skills just doing this. So it was good experience.
There's also a back market, another big marketplace, growing very fast in Europe. That has been growing quite fast actually over the past few years. I think we've seen a few customers also starting to be involved with this platform. Yeah. What can you tell about?
No, absolutely, and this is circular economy is no more a niche in Europe and in France. This is really booming. Not yet in the Middle East, but probably it will come soon. But in Europe, especially in France, this is really a big, strong market and a big trend. So we have a few customers already selling on back market, and we help them with our technology to manage this type of selling, which are slightly different from regular e-commerce, because when you sell second-hand products, you have to manage different life cycles of the products, the quality, monitor them.
Especially consumer electronics and products.
Consumer electronics and stuff. So you need your solutions to be adapted to this specific market. But yes, we have more and more customers looking at this and even diversifying their traditional B2C commerce to re-commerce, what we call re-commerce. Yeah.
Another big trend, TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
I'm not. I've been tempted many times to go on TikTok because of my kids, because of some friends, but I'm on Instagram already. I'm trying not to spend too much time on the social network and medias. So I've not created my TikTok account, but I know TikTok, yes.
So you see the social commerce landscape evolving quite fast. How do you see this?
It's
again,
booming.
This new channel.
This is booming. We at Anchanto, we know TikTok Shop for quite a long time already. We have developed our first connector of the V1. It was 3 years back or 4 years back. And this is live already in APAC with many customers growing on TikTok Shop. And this is coming to Europe. We have already a first customer using TikTok Shop in the UK. We have signed a new one in the Middle East as well. So this is really something which is coming to Europe and to the Middle East. So it's a booming a new way to shop. In-app shopping is becoming is growing fast. In the end, this is more or less, I mean, it follows the same, let's say, buying tunnel, the buying tunnel or purchase funnel, in the end, but the triggers are different. The triggers, you follow something or an influencer on TikTok, and then you just have a buy button at the bottom of the video. And
so you don't even have time to ask the question you were talking about.
It's very quick. You don't even think about it. All of your contact details are already on the platform, so they don't even have to ask you, do you want to purchase, enter your credit card number. None of this has been required. So the purchasing trigger is very quick and very easy to.
Last trend that we see obviously is AI. How do you see AI in the e-commerce, logistics, digital transformation space?
AI in e-commerce is already there. There are a lot of, let's say, solutions powered by AI to optimize your listing your catalog, designing your catalog, adjusting pictures, describing your products, translating this in multiple languages. So AI is there for a couple of years already. Whereas in the logistic domain, fulfillment, it's not yet there. We do have some competitors proposing this type of things, but this is still at the beginning. But yes, obviously, we do see this as a new opportunity to bring more innovations, innovative, and a way to improve efficiency of our customers. So there are a lot of things that could be improved when you manage a warehouse, for instance, or a fulfillment center. Treating, managing orders, picking, packing them in a faster way, storing your goods and your products in your warehouse in an optimized way is also very important. So there are a lot of things that could be powered and improved by AI, yes.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's all my questions, Thierry.
Thank you, Charles.
Had a great time.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thank you. See you in office this afternoon.
Sure.